One of the bigger trends in recent gaming is early access, the Steam service that allows you to purchase a game that's still in development in the hope that it'll turn out good. It's kind of like investing in a racehorse, except you don't have to hire a jockey and you don't have to make any surprise trips to the glue factory. Early access games are everywhere on Steam and on Twitch, and if you pay attention, you'll notice that almost all of them are open world survival games, differentiated only by a gimmick, whether it be zombies, or the underwater, or in the case of Conan Exiles, big naked dicks. Although, I don't see the point to Conan Exiles and its endowment sliders. If you wanted to survive in an open world that's ruled by dicks, all you'd have to do is move to America. The advantages of early access are apparent. These games tend to be marginally cheaper than their full release brethren, and you also have a direct line of communication with the developer, meaning that you can influence the final direction of that game. If you've ever felt powerless whenever you've called for your favorite Overwatch character to be buffed, then this is your time to shine. However, much like your calls to buff Hanzo, early access isn't without its flaws. There are many games on the storefront that have been abandoned due to developer burnout or bankruptcy, and even for the games in development, the release window is murky at best, and you're not even guaranteed that the final product will resemble the game that you bought into. The biggest example of this is Space-Based DF9, which, if you can't tell from the title, is a space-based building game made by Double Fine. I guess the 9 is German because Double Fine said 9 to this and pulled the plug on production of that game and released it prematurely without many of the features promised during production. Although, I suppose we shouldn't be surprised by Double Fine given they have a tendency of broken promises. One company purports to fix all these problems. They call themselves Early Ninja, a name plucked straight from the annals of trends from 2007. Other contenders included Early Bacon, Early Pirate, and Early McLovin. Early Ninja claims that the early access system is broken, and they aim to solve it by working closely with developers to ensure that their milestones and timeframes are met. And in the event that these are not, Early Ninja is also offering consumers refunds on abandoned games. This all sounds noble, until you actually look into it. To ensure that games remain on time, Early Ninja will assign senseis to work with developers. These senseis are, quote, individuals highly proficient in project management and communication. Note that they don't actually say game production experience in there. You'd want a Mr. Miyagi out of your sensei, but it seems like Early Ninja is only going to offer a Mr. Fussy. And if you look on their website, they've got a game section with all the big early access hits, including Ark, The Forest, and We Happy Few. Except none of these games are actually on Early Ninja, and I highly doubt that any of them will end up on Early Ninja. And this kind of actually contravenes one of the early access guidelines offered by Valve. Don't make specific promises about future projects. The irony here is so deep that Alanis Morissette won't actually write a song about it because unlike Rain on a Wedding Day, this is actually ironic. My biggest gripe with Early Ninja is their original hypothesis, that early access is broken. I find this to be deeply cynical and outdated, something which is made no clearer than on Early Ninja's Kickstarter page, which makes the claim that only 25% of early access games have been released in full. This comes from research that was done in 2014. In 2016, the authors of that original report published a follow-up, which put the release rate of early access games at a much higher rate, especially if you're looking at games released before 2014. With this kind of fact spinning, you think that Early Ninja should run for US Congress. I don't believe that early access is broken. Sure, there are still blights on the system, but I believe that early access is as good as it's ever been, if not better. Both developers and consumers have learned the idiosyncrasies of this system, and they have adjusted their expectations and their projects accordingly. They are working together and communicating to make these games better than they ever could have been if worked in isolation. I've seen so many good games come out of the early access system too, including Dirt Rally, Darkest Dungeon, Don't Starve, and other games which don't have the letter D in them and have 2 words. And that is everything that has happened in the world, ever.